Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel here. I don't know what we're going to be calling this. If I keep it up, I guess we'll call it Corvos Customs or Corvos Builds. I don't know, but we're going to build something here, show you how I would do it if I wanted to go crazy and do this particular build. As you can see here, I've got a little core, a little chassis core. This is a good layout. Get your fuel tank up front for the weight, engine in the back. Pretty simple. Level 5 seat so I can control the bearings, adjust all that kind of stuff. Now we're going to put a suspension on here that it's pretty bearing intensive. I'm going to build it separately and then weld it in place so I can clone it and do it. Now, if you're not using dev mode or using Fant mod or something along those lines that lets you save on your lift, then you're going to have to build this twice, but it's pretty easy to do, not difficult. We're going to show you pretty quickly how this works out. So I got all my stuff here loaded up. You'll need pretty much everything you see right here. Might be one or two things in them, kind of forgetting, but it's pretty much, your block of choice. I prefer something heavy. You can build the entire frame over there out of pipes, but I've built it out of concrete, so it's got some weight because Scrap Mechanic likes heavy things. Yeah, so we're going to start with our little blocks here. I want two there, and then I want to go out, and then up. Three. Nope, right there. Boom. I want this shape. And I'm going to weld this when I get done. I'll be welding it from there to there, and then doing it again on the back. You'll see as it takes shape. I'm going to bearing, skip, bearing, bearing. Bearing, skip, bearing, bearing. Same on both sides. Bearing, skip, bearing, bearing. Yeah, this is going to be bearing intensive. You think it's crazy now? You just wait. There you go on pipe pieces. Elbows facing outwards. Our straight pieces, you're going to want one, boom, 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 boom. Now, if you're building an odd width, you just, of course, you would take this out and move this over so you'd only have one of these blocks in the middle. And I would probably add one more here than what I am now. But, and we're going to put us a T at the bottom. Oops. Why have I got two curve pieces there? There's something else there that I should have, and I don't know what it is, and it's going to bother the crap out of me. But I want the curves up top. So we got the T at the bottom, curve up top. Go away. And a straight in the middle one. T at the bottom, straight in the middle, curve up top. Bearings on the curved pieces in the inside of the T's down at the bottom. And this is where I would actually say you should have painted all your bearings if you're going to paint your car and you're keeping it on your world and you want to do something fancy with it. Because if you build this thing afterwards and then want to paint these bearings, good luck. Ain't going to happen. So paint your bearings as you place them. I should have painted all of these before I put pipes on them, and I would paint these. But I ain't worried about paint. We're just doing this to build, okay? But if you want to paint your stuff, I would recommend painting your bearings as you place them. This will be impossible to paint once you're done. Trust me, please. Now we want our T's up top. Get that suspension piece. You can use, if you wanted to, you could go up one higher up here and use the off-road suspension, but I recommend against it. it gets a little wonky at times, starts doing all kinds of weird haywire stuff. So just use the sport. It's good enough. You get, okay, so you got your T's up and down, bearings on both sides, so everything can move. Cool. All right. So one more. One more straight pipe all the way around. If you're going to lock this in place, I'm going to have it adjustable. But if you're going to lock this in place straight and level, or maybe only a couple of degrees and you're not going to have it adjustable, you don't have to have the extra pipe here. The reason I have it is so because when you do the adjustable bit, sometimes it can hit the curved pipe out here, cause a little bit of an issue. So we're going to put a curved pipe on each end. We're almost done. On each one of those, you're going to put a bearing. On a T there, T there. And on each one of those, you're going to want a bearing. Surprise. Now, if you want more ground clearance, there is an option I'm going to show you right here. You can put your T here, and then your steering bearing would go there, like so. I don't like this because if you're building like just for off-roading and you're going to be going slow, it's no problem. But if you take a hard turn at speed, this with the tire down here causes all of this to kind of fold under at speed, and it gets really janky. But for like a rock crawler or stuff like that, it's perfectly fine to put the T there and get you an extra block of ground clearance. Okay, so now we got that there. Good, good, good. One more T piece facing outward. This is where we put yet another bearing. That is going to be for our wheels. Boom. We got there. All right, now there's one more piece I'm going to add to this so I don't have to worry about doing it later. You're going to get us a controller. You only need a level 2, but I'm putting a level 5 on it because. And you get your connect tool, and you're going to go up to the top ones up here. You can do the inside or the outside one. Doesn't really matter which one you do. Just make sure your rotation is positive to like it's going to push down. Like this one will be counterclockwise. This one will be clockwise. Just make sure your forces are opposing. Positive opposing or negative opposing. It doesn't matter which one, just so that it's easier to control when you put this in as my very start position being a +5 to give me 5 degrees of extra clearance than what it would have. Okay. And my extra one here, I'm just going to add another 15 just to start. So it's going to start out when I spawn it in with 5 degrees extra ground clearance. Well, 5 degrees angle on these. It ain't going to be 5 degrees clearance, but yeah. And I'm going to put a switch on it once I get the other one hooked up and all that, to where when I push the button, it'll increase the angle by 15 degrees. Suspension, 1, 2, 3, 4 up. It's my personal favorite setting for something like this. And it's only because I know about how much weight I've got and how much I'm going to be pushing. I know about where I'm going to put it. And if you're going to do it, start off with at 0 and then put your suspension up until it can hold its own weight. You don't want it too stiff. You don't want it too soft. And then after that, you can adjust it a little bit to, however you prefer your ride. Now I'm going to save this. Make another one. So now I got 2 of them. Now I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna weld it up. I'm going to hook the front steering up to the bottom bearing of the steering. Yeah, this is why I said paint your bearings, because you're not going to be able to paint that. Well, surprisingly, I lied. Okay, so there is a chance you could be able to paint it, but normally you wouldn't be able to do that. I'm serious. Normally you would not be able to do that. All right, so but back to the important part. Steering on the front ones, easily go to the bottom bearing. Don't put on, if you put it on the top, you have to flip it. Flip the rotation like that, If you put it on the bottom bearing of it, you're fine up front. The back ones, hook to the top. Or you'll have to, again, flip the rotation. Now on the back, 5 degrees, 2 speeds, my preference to start out with. Gives you a little bit of help with your with steering. Not much, but a little bit. The front you're not going to be able to do much with, but I like it on 3 or 4 speed. And you want to bring the steering down to 25. Unless you put another pipe piece here. If you put another pipe piece out here to give you some distance between here, you can increase your steering angles and stuff like that and play with all that and get proper, steering axis inclinations and all that good stuff. But, for scrap mechanic purposes, we're not going to mess with it, and we're just going to turn it down just a few degrees so that the tire doesn't hit these bearings and these pipe pieces when I'm turning. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna now hook up my seat to my engine. That way it doesn't run away just in case I mess up and pull my my lift out. And we're gonna hook up the engine to all the wheels. Be careful what bearing you're pointing at, because as you can see, there's a lot of bearings. This is why my buddy that used to play with me used to always come and slap a bearing on the side of my car like a badge. Yeah, Alright, so we got all that set. Now we need a switch for the controllers. I'll put it right there. You can see it started out with a little bit of angle to them. So we're good to go. Now I want a little bit more, so I'm gonna go here, put 2 more degrees on the back so it gives me a little bit. It's almost leveled it up, but you can see it puts a little bit more to the front. Just a touch. Put some fuel in here. Wanted the seat. Okay, check your steerings. Oh, one thing I forgot to do, flip the driver's side wheel bearings. You see, no suspension glitch. I click the button, raises me up a little bit more. And that would be how you would do a proper double wishbone suspension without having to worry about how to redirect the forces with a single pipe. Now there is a way. It's not difficult. I'm not saying it's hard to do. But is it a double wishbone if it's not a full wishbone? That's always been my thing with the ones that only use one support. You know, one control arm per. I mean, if I don't have this side of it and it's only hooked up over here and none of this exists, is it a double? Is it a wishbone? It's a double, yes, but is it a wishbone? Eh. A broken wishbone. Something that's already had its wish. I don't know. You tell me. So we're going to gas it up a little bit more. Not much. Just a touch. Take it through its little paces. Oops. Lousy place for a rock. Seems to perform pretty well. I don't have any complaints about it, other than the fact it takes an awful lot of freaking bearings. It's completely impractical, but it is fun. And it does drive very well. Whoa! Woo! There you have it, folks. The actual double wishbone suspension with no glitch, adjustable height. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Nope, nope, nope. That was bad. Mistakes were made. Wow. Could I have built it more perfectly to fit there? Alright, but anyway, back to what I was just saying. There you have it. Double wishbone suspension. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to post them up. Hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you like the video, you know, that thumbs up button's there. You know, I think that's what it's there for. But, you know, let me know what you think, folks. Let me know what you want to see next. And we'll catch you next time. Y'all be good now. You hear?